Alright, so today we finally got the information on the 4 stars that are going to be on DEHYA and CYNO'S banner. Now these two banners, I guess you could say, are very looking like it's a skippable type banner. Of course, if you're looking to get CYNO or DEHYA, if these are characters you've been excited to get or you've been looking forward to getting them, then of course this video is going to matter a lot to you. Now I am going to be talking about the 4 stars that are on this banner and the weapons that are on this banner as well. But right now, for this first half of the patch, because Ayaka and Shenhe are the second half of the patch for 3.5, doesn't look like there's going to be a lot to worry about when it comes to summoning on these characters, because the 4 stars and the 5 stars for both of these banners aren't the craziest. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about this and the characters that are on these banners and the weapons as well. Before we get into that, make sure to leave a sub and a like on the channel. We are going to be covering DEHYA when she releases, and I will be putting out a few more Cyno videos before he reruns as well. So if you're excited for any of that type of stuff regarding any of those characters or the 3.5 update, make sure to leave a sub and a like, and I'd pretty much very appreciate it. And also thank you for the support on the really I guess you say documentary style Cyno video. It means a lot. It's a super cool video. It's my favorite video I've made so far. But let's go ahead and start talking about these two banners for the first half of 3.5, which is coming super soon. So DEHYA is going to be a standard 5-star banner. It's going to be her only specific banner that's going to be coming out before she gets put into the standard banner and the pool of 50/50s. Of course, we will have a guide when the update comes out. But talking about her and CYNO, CYNO is a very replaceable electro DPS hyper carry. Other than, you know, his team of Hyper Bloom and Aggravate, which Hyper Bloom being his best, I guess you could say, option, he could be replaced by a lot of different units, like, you know, Alhaitham, Raiden Shogun, Kuki. A lot of these characters can replace him and put him in, you know, on the bench than the majority of teams that you can make with the other characters, because they basically all fulfill the same type of role. So these two characters aren't really the most exciting when it comes to how they are going to be put on the same half. Maybe they would have had better sales, I guess you could say, if they had Shenhe and Ayaka split apart and put one of them on this half, because I just don't see a lot of people summoning on these banners, just because this is a standard banner 5-star that will be put into standard banner after 3.5. And then CYNO, he's not really the most hype of characters currently out in the game. But let's go ahead and talk about the 4 stars. Of course, Barbara, Kolai, and Bennett. Now, of course, Barbara is, I guess you could say, a really miss of a 4-star to have on the banner. She doesn't really synergize these other characters that much. I guess you could use CYNO and have Barbara's little water ring around her and adds Hydra to the, you know, enemy, but this isn't really the most efficient Hydra application you could possibly get. So she's not really that crazy strong, even to pick up constellations from summoning on this banner. So not really the best thing in the world. Kolai, well, she is a free to play 4 stars. You get her from the Abyss, if I'm not wrong, after a certain level. And her constellations at the moment, they could be better. They could be useful, because constellation 1 is when she's on the party or not on the party, she will get extra energy recharge. You get more damage through the floor ring, and it will do damage regarding Kolai's attack, you know, leveling up the skills and stuff. Using the ult for Kolai gives 60 elemental mastery, which is very valuable in a lot of Dendro comps. You get 60 elemental mastery for 12 seconds. This doesn't apply to Kolai, so only to your teammates, and it only activates during her ult. And then her last thing is her floral ring will create a small little, you know, doll that she has and deal 200% of damage as Dendro damage. So, you know, her first few constellations, C1, C4, are probably the best ones you could possibly get for Kolai. So if you are going to be summoning on CYNO'S banner or DEHYA's banner, so this is something that could work. This is something that I guess you could say help out if you don't have Nahida, Yao Yao, or any other of these characters, you know, constellations higher up, or don't have these characters at all. So if you end up getting some 4-star Kolais, it's not that bad. And of course, I guess you could say the real shining star of the banner, for those that don't have him already, is Bennett, if I could find where he is even at. Bennett is, of course, this is the best 4-star on that banner in my opinion. He's Bennett. That's basically all I can say. He is Bennett. He is one of the best universal buffers in the game, and his constellations are really good, especially if you're going to be summoning on that banner. He might be well with DEHYA, which is something that we can cover when her guide comes out. So C1, really good. It no longer gives you that restriction of HP once you get C1, so you'll always be buffing no matter what, and healing. C2 gives energy recharge plus 30 when you're under 70% HP, and C4, you know, it's basically it gives you an extra part of that second skill where you hold it down, so it's basically not that important. And then C6 is the most controversial constellation, with it being making all your characters hit for pyro if they're a sword user, claymore user, polearm user, and giving them a 15% pyro damage bonus as well. So we have a lot of constellations that work really well for him, especially helping out his ult, which is his C5, and then having his C1 is probably the most important. And other than that, that's pretty much it. His C1 is probably his, you know, something you really want for his constellation, and everything else helps him a lot as well. So constellations on Bennett aren't that bad. Overall, not the best banner in the world when it comes to DEHYA and CYNO'S banner. Not really the best 4 stars. A lot of these are free to play 4 stars. They're all in the shop for Star Glitter, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, that's something you have to remember, that these characters can't be duped out, or constellations can be bought with the Star Glitter. So remember that. And of course, we have the weapon banner, the Beacon of the Reed Sea and the Staff of the Scarlet Sands. Now, we have information on these weapons, especially the Claymore, which the Claymore looks really good, especially a really good I guess you say stat stick for a lot of Claymore users, which is a big buff to a lot of these Claymore users. But we have the Alley Flash, the Alley Hunter, the Sacrificial Greatsword, Dragon's Bane, and Eye of Perception. Eye of Perception is not the best 4-star weapon. Dragon's Bane can be used on Hu Tao and other EM users. So, you know, Toma can use it, Hu Tao, Xiangling, all of these characters can use the Dragon's Bane because it's the EM polearm. Sacrificial Greatsword doesn't really get that much play. Maybe it could be a possible weapon for DEHYA, so we can see. Alley Hunter, not really the most used bow either. And the Alley Flash is one of Bennett's best in slots because of the high base attack. If you don't have the Festering Desire, these weapons just aren't the best. You know, they aren't something that you need to summon for it, and they don't contain any of the really exclusive 4-star weapons that, you know, are Sumeru exclusive, Inazuman exclusive, you know, like from those series of weapons. So summoning on this weapon banner isn't really ideal, especially because when you have banners like the Aqua Simulacra and the Staff of Homa, this doesn't pale in comparison. These both are crit rate stat sticks, if I'm not wrong. I don't think this polearm is crit damage, and the 4 stars aren't that great either. So this is a really miss weapon banner, while the character banners, Bennett is really the only shining star on it, with the 5 stars not being as, I guess, say, popular or super in the meta. But of course, if you want to get DEHYA, if you want to get Cyno, go ahead and get them. It's your Primo Gems, your account. You do what you want to do. But Barbara and Kolai, okay, although Kolai can be good with constellations, Barbara is of course that missed opportunity for a 4-star. But other than that, that's pretty much it regarding the character banners and the weapon banner. Overall, a big skip, I guess you could say, if you're not looking forward to any of these characters, especially because DEHYA is a standard banner character. Cyno is a not well sought after unit for current teams and a lot of players' accounts. And then the 4 stars on each banner, especially the weapon banner, aren't so good either. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you let me know what you think about these banners, let me know if you're gonna summon on Cyno or for DEHYA. We will be covering DEHYA very, you know, intensively once she comes out for the update. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching all again. See you all in the next one, and peace.